My husband called me names in front of our children, accused me of affairs, and tried to forbid me from seeing friends, and now even though he keeps asking to come back, I am secretly preparing to sell the house and separate our finances. Posted by you/suspiciousrock1661. My husband, 32M, and I, 32F, have been married for almost 2 years, but together for almost 15. He is my only long, real boyfriend I have had in my adult life, and we have 2 children together. We have had a rocky relationship from the beginning, if I'm being honest, but the last 3 years have, for the most part, been pretty great. The turning point for our relationship, I feel, was after he got blackout drunk at his friend's wedding and spent the entire 1.5-hour drive home that I drove him and his friend from as I was sober, screaming at me and saying nasty things. Since then, things had been pretty good. I have been working on myself, have lost weight, been putting more effort into myself and my appearance, and have been making new friends. About 5 months ago, he woke up one day and told me he wasn't happy with his life or me and wanted to leave. He then decided he was wrong and didn't want to leave. Not to drag it on too much, but a highlight reel of the last 5 months is he has left me 4 to 5 times and come back every time saying he's sorry. Been unhappy when I have gone for dinner or to see girlfriends. Got blackout drunk again and behaved horrendously towards me. I can't really talk about it on the thread. The same night as above, there was some severe drama with his family. I'm also being made to be the villain for telling them this behavior is disgusting, especially since our 2 children were asleep in bed when everything was happening. Called me every name under the sun, often in front of our children. Accused me multiple times of having affairs, with absolutely no suspicions. His excuses are that he doesn't feel loved enough by me and I'm not affectionate enough, but it's hard to feel affectionate to someone who is treating you poorly. I'm getting very little family support and being made to feel guilty for breaking our family up if I don't let him just come back home, but he is never going to change. I guess I'm just looking for some validation and support that I'm making the right decision because I keep being told I'm wrong. What are my next steps to stay strong in my decision to not take him back, and try and establish a healthy co-parenting relationship for our children? Relevant comments. Commenter 1, say no. Keep saying no. Find an attorney, keep all conversations between the lawyers. File for immediate custody pending divorce. Separate finances. Do what the lawyer says. Action. First and best steps to staying strong. Commenter 2, separate finances first thing, make it happen tomorrow. OP, I actually don't even know how to begin separating our finances as everything we have is basically tied up in our business. Commenter 3, imagine if your daughter was going through exactly that. What would you advise her? Please divorce him. OP, I think about this all the time. Has Op tried marriage counseling? OP, tried that twice already at various times, and he only agreed to it this time when he knew I was more serious, but never even made it to the appointment date. Commenter 4, you've been together since you were teenagers. Time to live your life and figure out who you are without him. OP, in reflection, I think a big part of the escalation has been because I have been starting to find my own self in the last 1 to 2 years. Update 1, 2 weeks later. I just wanted to firstly say thank you to everyone for all of your responses. I can't tell you how much they've helped me through this time, and every time I was struggling, I went back and looked at them all. I just wanted to address a few things mentioned in the comments and then give an update, so skip to the end if you just want the update. I have spent the last few weeks really thinking about our relationship and the dynamics, and honestly, it's difficult to really think about and embarrassing to think I've allowed this for so long. Some background to our relationship and dynamics of my life. We started seeing each other at 15, and on reflection, I can see that he was pressuring me even back then to do what he wanted, for example, pressuring me into losing my virginity when I didn't want to, but thankfully a friend intervened for me. I grew up in a house filled with domestic violence and an extended family that was very dysfunctional from trauma. Around the time we first met, my stepdad, who raised me, and separated from my mom about 3 years prior, told me his new partner didn't like me calling him dad. She was turning my bedroom at his house into her spare room for when her family came to visit, and essentially ended with him abandoning his dad role in my life. The night we started dating at 17 was, in hindsight, deeply troubling. We had been at a local function and had been friends. I was speaking with a mutual friend leading up to this night, and we snuck away to spend time together. When we came back to the function, our mutual friends were laughing about it, and he started screaming at me in front of everyone for hooking up with his friend when I knew he liked me and that I was a terrible person. I followed him out to apologize, no idea what I was apologizing for now, and ended up in a relationship with him. He habitually lied to me about using illicit substances throughout the years. He knew it was a hard limit for me, as my relative had passed away from an odd. I know to some people it is a bit ridiculous as it's pretty normal where we are from, but I didn't want to be involved with it in the slightest. He caused friendship breakdowns because friends would come to me and tell me he was using substances, he would deny it and tell me they were lying, and I would end up in arguments with them. He admitted 2 years ago to lying about it because he could see my viewpoint had changed and I was more accepting of it. Our relationship was great for the last 2 to 3 years, 1 to 2 years before our wedding and 1 year after, but on reflection I realize it was because I was just being more obedient to him. I was basically a married single mom and handled everything at home, worked in our business, and was a primary parent for our children. Okay, now for the update. I saw everyone's comments about leaving him, running, and divorce. That is definitely my plan, but I'm trying to be smart about everything and not rush it and do it on impulse. After my last post, I did cave to his pressure and allow him another chance. I told him that I was going to visit my friend's new apartment in the city and go for dinner together. He lost it and tried to forbid me from going. I told him I wasn't asking for permission, I was just letting him know. He was yelling and carrying on in front of our children that I either be husband and wife again or he's leaving right now. I was overwhelmed and trying to get him to stop, so I agreed. He also admitted to going through my phone to look at my messages with my friend because he didn't trust what I was saying. A week later, he left again. So currently, we are not together. He keeps apologizing and telling me he loves me and regrets the things he was saying to me. He keeps asking me, "So are you done, or do you want to be with me?" I reminded him that he left and we're not currently together. I said without real changed behavior, I'm not willing to be together. And I know that he will not be able to do that because I now realize that I think he is a narcissist, or at least pretty close. In the meantime, I have been recording many of our conversations and interactions. I am meeting with a lawyer and speaking with an individual counselor, and trying to get my house in a state for sale without it being obvious. I also forwarded many of our business financial documents to a separate email in case he restricts access to them. His work email is also on my computer, as I handled most of his correspondence, and a few days ago he had an email from Snapchat about some password change. Not really a huge deal, but I'm pretty confident there is either another specific girl in the picture or he's having casual lovemaking. If there's anything else I should be doing, anything you want clarified, or any thoughts you have, I'd love to hear it. And thank you all again. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. So currently we are not together. Lady, on my hands and knees begging you to stop with this language. It needs to be we are not together, period. OP, you're right, we are not together, period. I promise it's not changing. Commenter 2, Op, you should take your electronics and car to Geek Squad and a mechanic, and check for a GPS, tracking, and spyware. I would also open a new bank account at a bank different from any bank you use as a couple, even if you don't have joint accounts. I would want a separate account at a bank he doesn't know about. I would also run my credit report and keep a close watch on it, and any accounts we share. OP, the Family Violence Helpline in my area offers help with this, so I was going to be looking into it this week. Thank you. Commenter 3, change your passwords and codes. There's a good chance he'll go through your messages again. It's an easy way to keep track of what you're up to. He most likely will, at some point, promise real change with therapy and all that. Have a response ready. This is often said without any intention to actually change, it's just a way to get back. Get a separate bank account if you don't have one. You'll need it. If you have one and he has access to it, cancel that. You do seem to have a good grip on the situation though, good luck in your new life. OP, thank you, I'm going to go through all my passwords on my phone and change them. Who owns the house? Can Op change the locks? OP, it's in both our names. Commenter 4, you need to stop going back together with this man. What kind of example are you setting for your children? That it's normal to berate, insult, and attack your partner for hours on end? Do you want your children to grow up thinking it's normal to have your partner isolate you to the house and not let you have friends? Seeing these things is going to mess them up for life. When I read your update, it originally sounded like you understood the situation and you were getting out, only to find out a few sentences later that you put yourself right back into the same position, took him back, let him treat you like garbage, let him manipulate and control you, and then, surprise, surprise, he dumped you again. I know it's hard to leave abusive relationships, but you are not single and this doesn't affect only you. You have to put your children first. OP, I understand that it reads like that, and I guess it is what happened. But mostly I just wanted to get to my appointment with a lawyer before officially kicking him out, so that I knew all my rights, etc., and did everything properly. Because all of our finances are tied up in our business, and I don't want him to be able to just take everything and hide it. Op clarifies on why she hasn't kicked her husband out of the house. He has never technically left the home. He has left me and stayed in our spare bedroom, or left for a night. How exactly do I keep someone out of a home they own jointly with me without divorcing them first? The police in my area will do absolutely nothing unless there is genuine proof of physical violence, which I don't have. And even then, it's still difficult to have them removed from the property or pursue anything. Additional information from Op after reading comments. I just wanted to say thank you to those who have left genuine feedback and support. But honestly, I'm pretty taken aback by how aggressive some of the comments have been with me. I was actually really proud that I've started taking steps to get out, and I fully intend to leave him. But it is a huge milestone in my life to accept that I have allowed myself to be in an abusive relationship and start the process of leaving the only man I've even been with in 15 years. I honestly never really did realize it wasn't normal, which you may not understand, but it's just my reality. And for the people who keep mentioning why I'm putting my kids through this, I think you're misdirecting your anger a bit there. I'm trying my very best to shield them, and I've almost got everything ready to get us out. I'm so close. But the person doing this to our children is him. Am I allowing bad behavior? Absolutely. But I'm not doing it, and I'm actively getting us out. So anyway, I'm trying my best, I'm leaving, and I hope maybe next time you see a post like this you might be a little kinder than just a lot of insults. Update 2.5 weeks later. Hi all. I wanted to post an update for everyone who gave me advice in my previous posts and helped me through a really difficult time. My soon-to-be ex-husband has been gone from our home for 2 weeks now. It has been 2 weeks filled with crash outs, love bombing, and everything in between. But I have held firm and told him I am completely out of the relationship and want a divorce. I have bought new security cameras for the time being, but want to sell our house and buy my own place as soon as possible. Separating our finances is going to be so difficult. I know I'm only at the very beginning of the journey, but I am feeling so proud of myself and strong in my resolution. Honestly, I haven't even missed him once yet. I feel free. The kids and I can be at home and do what we feel like without worrying if he will have a problem with it. There's no more yelling at home. It's just peaceful. So thank you again for your advice. I probably won't have another update, but thank you all, and if you have any tips or tricks for negotiating custody agreements and divorce, that would be great. I can't tell you how much you all helped me push through the hardest part. Relevant comments. Commenter 1, you've done something incredible. The fact that you stood your ground despite the emotional pressure, that's a huge win. Peace at home and your freedom? Absolutely priceless. Whenever it gets tough, remind yourself why you started this in the first place. One tip, write everything down when it comes to the kids and any agreements, even if things seem fine now. You're in a new chapter, and it's already starting with a victory. OP, I have a video I watch of one of his outbursts whenever my brain tries to trick me into remembering the good parts. It reminds me. Honestly, I only needed to watch it for the first few days. Just fear of the unknown, I guess. I kept reminding myself that being scared of the future is far greater than living a future like that. Commenter 2, freeze your credit with all 3 major credit companies. He may turn vindictive very quickly. OP, I think once he realizes he's lost control, he will turn vindictive pretty quick. It's why I want to move through the process as quick as possible. Didn't think of the credit, thank you. Op needs to get a paper trail going with her husband. OP, most of our communication over the last 6 months has been through text, so I have so much documentation. Commenter 3, please do not cave into his excuses or love bombing. He will never change, no matter what he says or promises. I've read your other posts, and he sounds like a piece of work. You and your kids will be so much better off without him and his constant screaming, anger, and abuse. Focus on yourself and your kids now. You should be very proud of yourself for moving on. I know it's scary and hard, but it will be so worth it. Best of luck and a happy future for you and your children. OP, I absolutely will not. It's crazy how much you really see when you take off the rose-colored glasses. Thank you. It is a bit scary and definitely hard, but it has been worth it. Commenter 4, good for you. I'm so proud of you. You're sticking up for yourself and teaching your children that abusive relationships are not okay. You're setting healthy boundaries and teaching your kids to do the same. Rock on. OP, it's so rewarding thinking about my daughter not learning to accept this bad behavior, and my son learning that it is not okay. Op on her family putting pressure on her to reconcile with her husband. They're definitely getting better. I know my mom in particular wishes he would stop all of his behavior and allow us to reconcile. But she has definitely accepted that his behavior won't allow that and has stopped pressuring me. I have also opened up to more extended family who have been more supportive, which is good. Thank you so much. Op on recordings consent against her husband and taking important documents. Recording is legal in my country. Only one party needs to consent. I've taken mine and the kids' passports and birth certificates, and my engagement and wedding rings to my mom's house. Thank you so much.